The great dystopia has arrived, where it no longer truly matters what the opinion of government is, nor does it matter what the opinion of any particular religion is, or even truly your own opinion. Every single thought and action is now brought into scrutiny by humanity as a whole, thanks to the internet. And that will be the ultimate God. If there's a better definition of the beast system, I'd like to hear it. This is what's coming. It's not going to be what does the government think, or what does my religion think, or even what my neighbor thinks. Everything you do is going to be brought into scrutiny by the whole globe. And they'll let you know. Now, on that topic, just wanted to give everybody a heads up. As promised, over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel at the $5 level, there is a brand new video, and I tell a very uncomfortable personal story from my youth. And the only reason I bring it up is because it's relevant to what I'm seeing now. Something has changed so drastically and so markedly that having these memories and having this event in my life has really informed my ability to resist. And that's about all I can really say. Now, the vast majority of the videos over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel, there's about 300 of them, are at the $1 level. But there are a handful for the folks at the $5 level. And this is one of those videos that's very personal. It was very, very difficult to talk about because I reveal some things that if people knew and they took those things and put them into the court of public opinion, it would probably be the end of my channel. But it's how things have changed so drastically since the 1980s. I saw this picture. Real quick, if you'd like to join us at Patreon, it's fully refundable for 90 days. You can go there, $1 a month, $5 a month, fully refundable first 90 days, no questions asked. You get a 10% discount if you sign up for an annual membership. And over there, you can inbox me, unlike here, where you just make a comment and I might see it, I might not. Over there, you can privately message me. You have your own private inbox, and you can say this, that, or the other, or conduct some type of a civil conversation. Would love to have you over there. And thank you so much to everyone who's already signed up. Now, the thing that got me thinking about all of this and my history, I guess, this event from long ago in my life, is this very strange fixation now with the Amish and the Mennonites. People are saying, oh, they didn't get the stick thing in 2020 when the whole sniffles came, and that's why they're so super healthy now. Okay, everybody needs to take a breath. I'm sure the Amish are hearing this, and they probably don't know whether to laugh or to cry or to be angry. Because for years and years and years, that same group of people doing that now made fun of them, castigated them, denigrated them, pointed fingers at them, laughed at them, tried to make them feel small and like they were less or not worthy. And they just absorbed it in humility and just went about their day. But all of a sudden now, they're the bastions of health. Most people don't even know the difference between Amish and Mennonite. But there's a difference, and I'm going to elucidate that. But those of you out there who are now all sorts of in love with the Amish are anti-gun. I mean, they have them. But as far as the reason that most pro-Second Amendment people have guns, they have no use for them. They have very limited gauge shotguns for certain types of hunting. You might find Amish that might have a rifle, maybe a 30-30, 30-06, something like that, maybe for some bigger game, but not usually. It's not part of their life. They don't walk around armed. Also, this is the part that would really, really bother a lot of people. In fact, the same people that are venerating the Amish and the Mennonites now would probably call them traffickers. Amish relationships and dating. Children only school until about 8th grade. Customs on dating. very greatly, but usually it starts about 14 or 15 for girls and 16 for boys. You know, wait, why is it a year or two earlier? Well, you see, they have a purpose for dating. They have a purpose for it. Now, quick show of hands, especially moms out there. You know what? Moms and dads. Moms and dads, quick show of hands. You have a 14-year-old daughter, and she wants to engage in the time-honored Amish tradition of bed bundling. The way they do it now, of course, is they just basically build a small headboard right down the middle of the bed. And 16-year-old boy that your 14-year-old daughter has a crush on comes over one night and stays fully clothed, allegedly, and hops into bed with your 14-year-old daughter, and you just shut off the lights and you head off to bed yourself, and everything's perfectly fine. Quick show of hands. How many for you would that be a hard no? Yeah, I think that would be virtually everybody. Some of you, it would be a hell no. There ain't no way on God's green earth I'm letting some 16-year-old boy hop into bed. I don't care if he's got his clothes on. I don't care if there's a piece of wood. It's just not happening. There's just no way that's going on. Motion detectors, night vision cameras, hourly bed checks. I mean, this wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Now, why do they do it? Well, you see, these folks work their you-know-what off all day, every day, and they're usually exhausted at the end of the day and don't have all that much energy. And besides, I'm just going to let this meme speak for itself. They sometimes bathe and sometimes don't. And that is actually the primary difference between the Amish and the Mennonites. The Amish they have body odor. It's, I'm talking my experience. I knew Mennonites. I knew people that were Amish. I grew up in Amish country, Mennonite, northern Indiana. Grew up around them, knew them, and God bless the Amish. Good people, decent people, Christian people, hardworking people. Bathing not real super high on their list of things to do every day. Also, they marry cousins. Not first cousins, but second cousins, meaning they have a common great-grandfather. Meaning if your grandfather had a brother, and then that brother had descendants, you were good to go to marry. Anti-vaxxers are idolizing the Amish inexplicably. A viral pseudoscience article claims the plain people never get sick because they don't get vaccinated. Actually, members of the religious community are prone to some terrible diseases. Now, before anybody gets all upset about this being some kind of disinfo government campaign, let's go down here to the date. This is from 6 January 2015. You see, this is way back when the anti-vaxxers were Jenny McCarthy and Alicia Silverstone and basically way out on the left, activists from Hollywood. This is 5 years before. Now, what's going on? Well, it's causation, correlation. Are the Amish incredibly healthy? Yes. Do they have lower vaccination rates? Yes. Do they have kids with autism? Yes. Do they have people that get sick? Yes. But why, generally speaking, are they healthier people? The reason they're healthier people is because they work their butts off. And they exercise. They don't go to the gym and hop on the treadmill. They're just up at the crack of dawn. They walk everywhere. They don't overeat. And they don't indulge in the ridiculousness that we do. In fact, it's, they call being among the English. It's a generalized term that they use for living a decadent lifestyle, meaning overeating and over-entertaining. And you see, I brought this up because I thought it was kind of funny that autism is clearly caused by organic food sales. See, it's two things that go up together over time, but have nothing to do with each other. And of course, there's what they call causation, correlation. Blah, blah, blah. I have an opinion. Oh, look, you expressed your opinion, and then this thing happened. Therefore, you're the cause of it. It's also called post hoc, ergo propter hoc. This is something else we talk about at the Florida Monkey Patreon channel. Psychological operations, 24 cognitive biases, 24 logical fallacies, claiming that because event Y followed event X, event Y must have been caused by event X without properly establishing causality. Now, what does this have to do with Mr. Trump? I want everyone out there to take a breath for just a minute and think about this infallible strategy of his. All you would have to do is right now, everybody out there, go out and tell everyone you know you're running for president. Tell everybody you know that you are now putting your hat in the ring for president. Then you are now free to commit any crime you want to. And if anybody tries to look into anything you've done since then, or even prior to this, you can just say it's election interference. Let's say there's somebody out there that hasn't paid their taxes in 20 years. All they'd have to do is say, I'm running for president now. I'm running for town council now. I'm running for mayor. I'm running for sheriff. I'm running for anything. And then if anything happens after that, they can say, oh, they just don't want me to be sheriff, mayor, town councilman, blah, 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 president. See how this works? The two things aren't exclusive. And besides, this is, going back to the whole Amish thing. There's this weird article out there about if you have a problem with body odor, that makes you more inclined to authoritarian attitudes and xenophobic. This is from the Royal Society Publishing. Now, this is from some time ago, apparently, 28 February 2018. But I think that's an interesting thing because you would have to ask yourself, are the Amish authoritarians? Well, they're a religious theocracy. I mean, they pretty much run their society based on the Bible. I mean, would you rather live in a theocracy? This is the part that a lot of people, they make these idyllic pictures of Amish life, but they're a theocracy. And a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, I could never, not with the church. There'd be no way. Which brings me back to the very beginning here. You see, people are going to find flaw. This is the whole voting trap. Voting is the mark. It really is. Because what do you do online when you approve of something, you like it, or you share it, or what are you really doing? It's a form of voting, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, X, Instagram, anything. It's global voting on every possible thing in person, all the time, in real time. And that's the dystopia. That there's no longer going to be a need. Why would there be a need for a Bible? Why would there be a need for law? All you have to do is take whatever's going on at that time and put it to the internet. And if the internet votes it up, then you're good to go. But if the internet votes it down, you're out. See, this is the real trap of AI. There was a TV series or an episode of a sci-fi flick where they did this, where everything you do, every action you take had a positive or a negative. And everybody had their phones out and aimed and showing what everybody else was doing, and everybody had a rating based on this. But it had nothing to do with government, and it had nothing to do with religion. Government was just the enforcer of the will of the internet. And to me, that would be the mark. That would be the final mark of the beast. What does the internet have to say about it? And that's globally. What does the global internet have to say about it? Let that be the deciding factor, because that can be the only real truth, right? What the mob thinks. So, I will leave it there. Thank you, though. the story that I tell over there was very difficult to tell at Patreon, because of how things ended up and, what's happened recently. So I'll just have to leave that there. Would very much appreciate as much support over there as I can possibly get. Things are getting rough. Patriot Nurse has talked about this at length. Things going on in Tennessee are just nothing short of Armageddon-like up there. And they still feel very blessed to live in Florida, but large amounts of people, just a little bit here, a little bit there, makes such a huge difference. God bless every single one of you that has already done it. Have a wonderful week. Pray for each other. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.